I didn't actually see it, but the worst part was being there when a couple of guys was executed. I think I was there when 3 or 4 people got executed. The feeling of it, they feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but all before 12 o'clock. And there's no more movement. And when it's happening, you're sitting in that cell and you're wondering, is that going to be you? Because it's in the cell, like one over in a unit, one over away from where I was housed at. I was on G Wing and it was on Q Wing. And I used to just sit there and listen quietly, see if I heard any screaming, see if, I was wondering what he was going through, uh, trying to prepare myself. I got sentenced to death. Once you get sentenced to death, you're taken to FSP or Union CI to be processed and housed as a death row inmate. So once I received my sentence, um, I was like 18 months from 2007 to 2009. I was on death row and I was released. 18 months. It was 3 years. It was 3 years total that I was arrested, tried, convicted, sentenced to death, and brought home. But I didn't actually see the execution. But the process of when the execution is at the prison, they have a format where they feed everybody breakfast, lunch, and dinner before 12 o'clock, and then anywhere after 12 o'clock on down, there's no movement. So if you have to go to medical, they're not moving you. You know, there's no movement out of your cell or anything. You just straight locked down. And I had no preference, but I wouldn't have fought. I mean, whichever method they used, they would have used them. I wouldn't have fought. Because I feel like if it's happening, it's God making it happen. Ain't nothing I can do about it because it's like no matter what method they use on you, they're gonna use force on you to get you under that gurney or wherever you scrap down to do the execution. Neither method is humane to me. Shooting somebody out with electricity, shooting somebody with these drugs, and you know, eh, I don't believe none of that is like humane. Especially this fire squad they done got out here in certain states. They use Alabama using gas. I mean, these are tactics that they used in the wars back then that killed millions of people, and we call it barbaric, but yet we're justifying it to say it's justice when it's not even creating a resolution to our crime problem. Darkest moments? Mm, I don't really think I had any. I think my overall problem was wondering how did this happen to me? What is going to happen? You know, it wasn't about a dark space. It was about a space of betrayal, hurt, wondering what's gonna happen to me. I'm seeing all the other inmates on there waiting for appeals, taking 4 and 15, 20 years for appeals and stuff. And I'm like, I thought I was trapped into a system that's just gonna just forget about me and just keep winding the clock. Personally, I had no problems with the prison guards. Actually, we was, I'm always been a respectful person and be able to get along with the guards and a lot of the guards. The guards thing is if you respect them, they're gonna give you respect back. The thing of it is that our system, if you would have talked about in the early 90s, in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000, early 2000s, you know, you might have had that good old boy system where the guards whoop you up and stuff like that. But I came at a time where it was transitioning into a lot of younger people being in now, and the younger people had to already integrated with different races and different cultures and stuff. So, they into the different music and all of that. So it hadn't been changed a lot compared to when I first went to prison in 94 in regular population where you up in this area and you liable to get beaten by officers. But the officers on death row was very, for me, it was very kind and understanding and they was human beings. Death Row was like traumatizing, but at the same time, it was a life lessons. Being around some of those guys was some of the greatest experience I ever had. You know, uh, I could say Death Row was the first place I felt like there wasn't any division because of race, religion, or what someone believed or anything like that. It actually taught me a lot of things about life. The guys on there, they go through problems. Some of them, you know, um, a lot of them go to changing, and their hearts go to bother them about the crimes they committed and things. And it's just a different environment, man. That it was life changing. And I'm glad I got a chance to visit that to see the real side of it.